Bananas are probably one of the most ordinary foods in your kitchen. They're cheap, they're easy to eat, and most people know them for one thing: potassium. But bananas are a lot more interesting than that. Depending on how ripe they are, they can affect your digestion differently. They provide carbohydrates your body can actually use for energy. They contain nutrients involved in muscle and nerve function. And despite what you may have heard online, the sugar in a banana doesn't automatically make it an unhealthy food. So what actually happens when you eat a banana? Are they really good for your heart? Are they a smart choice if you're trying to lose weight? And is there any reason you shouldn't eat one every day? Let's find out. Part 1. What's actually inside a banana? Let's start with what you're actually eating. One medium banana contains roughly 100 calories. Most of those calories come from carbohydrates. But you're also getting fiber, potassium, vitamin B6, vitamin C, magnesium, and several other nutrients. And here's something people often misunderstand. Bananas are famous for potassium, but they're not some magical potassium superfood. Plenty of other foods contain potassium too. What makes bananas useful is convenience. You don't have to cook them, you don't have to refrigerate them before eating. You can throw one in your bag and have a quick source of carbohydrates, fiber, and several important nutrients almost anywhere. And sometimes simple foods are the easiest ones to eat consistently. Part 2. Bananas can be a great source of quick energy. Have you ever wondered why you see bananas at races, gyms, and sporting events? There's a good reason. Bananas contain carbohydrates, which your body can break down into glucose and use for energy. That's especially useful around physical activity. Imagine you're going for a long walk, heading to the gym, or playing a sport. A banana is easy to digest for many people and gives your body readily available carbohydrates without requiring a huge meal. That's one reason athletes commonly eat them before or after exercise. And bananas provide more than carbohydrates. They also contain potassium. Potassium is an electrolyte involved in normal muscle contractions, nerve signaling, and fluid balance. But there's an important myth we need to clear up. Eating a banana doesn't guarantee you'll never get a muscle cramp. Muscle cramps can have several causes, and simply eating more potassium isn't always the solution. Still, bananas can absolutely be part of a balanced diet that supports normal muscle function. Part 3. Your banana changes as it ripens. Here's where bananas get surprisingly interesting. A green banana and a very ripe banana aren't nutritionally identical. When a banana is less ripe, it contains more resistant starch. Resistant starch isn't completely digested in your small intestine. Instead, some of it reaches your large intestine, where it can be fermented by gut bacteria. As the banana ripens, much of that starch is converted into sugars. That's why a green banana tastes firm and less sweet, while a ripe yellow banana tastes much sweeter. And when those brown spots start appearing, the banana hasn't suddenly become junk food. It has simply become riper, softer, and sweeter. For many people, ripe bananas are easier to eat and digest. Less ripe bananas, on the other hand, contain more resistant starch. So the banana sitting on your counter is literally changing as it ripens. Part 4. Are bananas actually good for your heart? This is where potassium becomes especially important. Your body needs potassium for many basic functions, and getting enough potassium as part of an overall healthy diet can help support healthy blood pressure. That's important because blood pressure is closely connected to cardiovascular health. Potassium helps your body handle sodium and plays a role in the relaxation of blood vessel walls. But don't think of a banana as medicine. One banana won't cancel out a diet that's consistently high in sodium, low in vegetables, and heavily based on ultra-processed foods. The bigger picture still matters. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, adequate physical activity, and an overall balanced diet. Bananas simply fit very comfortably into that bigger picture. Part 5. But aren't bananas too high in sugar? This is probably one of the biggest reasons bananas sometimes get an unfair reputation. Yes, bananas contain sugar, but there's a huge difference between eating sugar inside a whole piece of fruit and drinking a sugary soda. When you eat a banana, you're not consuming isolated sugar. You're getting water, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds along with it. The fiber also helps slow digestion compared with consuming free sugars in something like a soft drink. That doesn't mean bananas have zero effect on blood sugar. They contain carbohydrates, so blood glucose can rise after eating them. Ripeness can matter too. A very ripe banana generally contains more sugars and less resistant starch than a greener banana. But for most healthy people, the fact that bananas contain natural sugar isn't a good reason to avoid them. And if you want a snack that's more filling, you can pair a banana with something containing protein or healthy fats. For example, a banana with natural peanut butter, a banana with Greek yogurt, or a banana with a handful of nuts. Now you've turned a simple piece of fruit into a much more satisfying snack. Part 6. Can bananas help with weight loss? Here's another common question. Do bananas make you gain weight? No individual food automatically makes you gain body fat. Weight gain happens when you consistently consume more energy than your body uses over time. A medium banana is relatively low in calories while providing sweetness and some fiber. So if you're craving something sweet, compare your options. A banana or a large cookie, a banana or a candy bar, a banana or a 300-calorie sugary coffee drink. The banana can be a very practical choice. That doesn't mean eating 10 bananas a day will magically make you lose weight. Calories still matter. Your overall diet still matters. But replacing some higher calorie snacks with whole fruit can be a useful strategy for some people trying to manage their calorie intake. Part 7. Bananas may be more useful than expensive health foods. Walk through almost any grocery store today and you'll see products promising incredible health benefits. Superfood powders, energy bars, special drinks, expensive supplements. And sometimes we forget about the basic foods sitting right in front of us. A banana doesn't need a marketing campaign. It's naturally portable. It's inexpensive in many places. It contains useful nutrients. And it can work at breakfast, before exercise, after exercise, or as a simple snack. You can add bananas to oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, slice them over Greek yogurt, freeze them for a cold snack, or just peel one and eat it. Healthy eating doesn't always need to be complicated. Part 8. Is it okay to eat a banana every day? For most healthy people, having a banana regularly can easily fit into a balanced diet. But there's one mistake you don't want to make. Don't let one healthy food replace variety. Bananas are nutritious, but they don't contain everything your body needs. Different fruits provide different combinations of nutrients and plant compounds. Berries bring something different. Oranges bring something different. Apples bring something different. Kiwis bring something different. So instead of asking, what's the healthiest fruit? A better question might be, am I eating a variety of fruits and vegetables regularly? Because your diet isn't built from one perfect food, it's built from patterns. And there are also some people who may need to be more careful with potassium intake, particularly those with certain kidney problems, or people taking medications that affect potassium levels. In those situations, individual medical advice matters more than general nutrition advice from the internet. Part 9. So, are bananas underrated? Absolutely, but probably not for the reason you think. Bananas aren't a miracle food. They won't burn belly fat. They won't instantly stop muscle cramps. And eating one isn't going to transform your health overnight. What makes bananas impressive is much simpler. They're convenient. They're relatively inexpensive. They provide useful carbohydrates, fiber, potassium, vitamin B6, and other nutrients. They're naturally sweet. And they're incredibly easy to add to your day. That's a pretty impressive package for something you can peel in 5 seconds. And that's why bananas probably deserve a little more credit than we give them. The bottom line. So what should you take away from all of this? You don't need to start eating 3 bananas a day. And you definitely don't need to treat bananas like some miracle superfood, but you also don't need to avoid them because they contain sugar, or because you've heard another fruit is supposedly healthier. A banana is simply a nutritious, convenient whole food that can fit comfortably into a balanced diet. And maybe that's the most important lesson from this video. Healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated. You don't always need an expensive superfood. You don't need every meal to be perfect. And you don't need to chase every new nutrition trend you see online. Sometimes some of the best choices are also the simplest ones, so if you enjoy bananas, keep eating them. And make them one part of a diet that includes plenty of different fruits, vegetables, whole grains, protein sources, and other nutritious foods. Before you go, tell me something. How do you usually eat your bananas? Straight from the peel, with peanut butter, in your oatmeal, or blended into a smoothie? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more simple, science-based explanations about the foods you eat every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.